All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of We Gonna Talk. Today I have a special guest, my son, the one and only Mr. Joseph Markham, who's home visiting from college on spring break. So all of you that follow me, most of you all know what school he goes to, but I'll let him let you know. What school are you home visiting from?
Southern University, Baton Rouge.
Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, just let us know so far. This is your first year. You kind of rounding off the end of the second semester of your first year, ending your freshman year. So far, how's it been? Your first year of college?
It's been cool, I guess. It's a bit different from being in the city to the country. I'm used to a lot of different things, and Baton Rouge doesn't necessarily have the certain things that I'm used to from living in Atlanta and Los Angeles. But I mean, it's cool. You learn. They got pretty good food, I guess.
I think they got the best food in the country in Southern Louisiana.
Well, they have seafood. If you want wings or anything else, you're not gonna have it.
No, we talking about Cajun food.
But me being a college student, I don't always have Cajun food money. I have fast food money, and they don't have like. Atlanta got like American Deli, a good wing place. Wingstop, they have Wingstop. Wingstop isn't that good, and Wingstop is gonna run you like $15 for just wings, fries. So you know how that goes.
All right. So, well, first of all, what's your major?
Broadcasting journalism.
So what do you want to do with that degree once you're finished?
A broadcaster, a sports broadcaster, but a broadcaster in general.
Okay. So being in college, what has been the biggest adjustment for you?
Work at your own pace instead of trying to rush it. 4 years is ideal. 4 years may not be it though. Cause for me, school always came pretty easily. So when I had something like, for example, this year I took Spanish and I don't know any Spanish. So I focused a lot of my time on my Spanish work, and I take 6 classes. So I spent a lot of time on Spanish work, and all the easier classes I kind of ignored the work because I knew it was gonna be easy, but I ended up missing assignments or whatever because I'm so focused on learning Spanish that I may mess around and get a bad grade in a class that's super easy because I'm so focused on this instead of splitting everything up. So next semester I'm not taking as many classes.
Okay. So was it a major adjustment for you, like going from high school to college? In high school, and middle school and all that before college, you were held accountable by your teachers and your parents and everything. Being in college now that, you go to class, nobody's making you go to class, it's all on you. Has that been hard for you to stay focused and making yourself go, knowing that there's nobody there physically making you go there and holding you accountable for going?
No. Because if you miss a class, you ain't gonna miss it again because you're gonna come back that next class not knowing what's going on. So no, it's never really been a problem. I mean, to be honest with you, once you get to college ain't nothing but a big old high school anyway. A high school with freedom. That's all it is. But
everybody can't handle that freedom. Has it been? Is it been challenging for you to stay motivated and to get up in those early mornings and go to class knowing that you don't really have to? I mean, there's consequences behind it, but there's nobody, really making you. So has it been hard to keep yourself disciplined enough to do that?
No, not really. I mean, even here, like when I was living at home or whatever, I mean, it was never really a thought. I just got up and went to school because I had to. Now when I'm sick, that'd be kind of hard because the way Southern works, you really have to go to class. It's not really an option because after you miss a certain amount of classes, it actually takes away from your grade. Like Southern, if you miss over 3 classes, every class you miss after that, you lose 3 points to your final grade. And then I know at LSU, if you miss over 3 classes, you lose a whole letter grade. So you kind of really have to go. You don't really have a choice. The people that don't go end up dropping out.
So what would you say some major distractions are for you or for college students that you see that could cause them to fall?
Party. That's really it. Parties for the most part. And some people not used to freedom because some people have so strict parents before they go to college. And some people in college just there because their parents making them. So you could tell the difference.
Yeah. I can kind of understand how that is. You get some of those kids who just parents were so strict and they get to college and go buck wild.
Because I've always had a decent amount of freedom because I ain't never get in trouble here, so y'all never really took my freedom away. So for the most part, I don't go out much or nothing, so it's not like I'm always out anyway. I've never been a go out person. I'm always at home.
Yeah. So what keeps you motivated? You know, to keep going to your classes and.
Well, I mean, I have a friends group, but none of us really go to the same college except for me and my friend Drew. But we have like a friends group or whatever, and this like college to me in the environment I grew up in was never like, oh my God, he's going to college. It's something that you're supposed to do, in a way. So I know a lot of people are first people in their family going to college and stuff, and it's a big deal. But to me, it's something that I was supposed to do. So it's not really like a, you know.
So I hear you say LSU, and I know that you all hang out at LSU a lot too. In fact, you pretty much stay right by LSU. What would you say is, besides the obvious, the campus, and all the amenities they have, like what would you say is a big difference that you see between the HBCU and a school like LSU?
Well, of course, the biggest difference is always going to be the money. Everything they have at LSU, for the most part, is a lot nicer than the HBCU. That's period, though. All PWIs pretty much will be nicer than HBCUs, because a lot of HBCUs, well, they're starting to get renovated now, but they still pretty much got the same buildings from 30, 40 years ago. LSU was like constantly renovating and things like that. I mean, it's the difference between the black kids that, like, when I go to LSU, when me and my friend go to LSU, it's clear that we don't go to LSU. Because, like, the black kids at LSU compared to a black kid at HBCU is a big difference.
Like what? Like how? What do you mean? Because to me, it sounds like as if you say, like, y'all up there, they could tell y'all some ghetto Negroes.
Yeah, I mean, we be walking around with do-rags on and stuff like that. And then you would kind of tell, like, a lot of LSU students. Now, it is a few that act like us. Like, I know a couple that grew up in the same area as me and made it to LSU or whatever, but for the most part, they become like blight kids, like black white kids. Like it's not really much of a it's not much of a connection. Like they wear like Crocs and high khaki shorts.
So being seeing of obvious better amenities and all that stuff like that, would you trade your experience in going to a HBCU to go to one of those schools because of the better amenities and all that stuff?
Nah, because a lot of the people at PWIs, a lot of the black people at PWIs think they're better than the people at HBCUs. Like when I went up there, it was these girls that was up there and we was talking, and you could just kind of hear it. They were trying to talk down on the HBCU or whatever. So nah, not really. But I live both lifestyles, so
That's kind of disturbing to hear though, because it's kind of like that Willie Lynch syndrome. You get, because you going to a white school, you think you better than the black school, that's your people. But that kind of hearing that kind of is aggravating. They think that white is better and they're better than you because they're accepted by them. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of a vice versa thing too, because I have seen some black people talk down to people that go to PWIs or whatever. So. But it's really common for the people at PWI to talk down to HBCUs. I don't care. Like,
so what do you think are some advantages of going to a HBCU over a PWI? Like, what experiences do you think are better for you there as a black student?
You have cultural things that kind of go on, like the clubs and the campus itself, and the history. History kind of focuses a little bit more on black people than you're used to in high school and stuff. And you're around your people all the time, so you never feel like you don't belong in a certain area in a sense. That's pretty much it.
What about, I've always heard, and I've experienced it myself, because I went, after I got out of the military, as you know, I went to Southern for a couple of years. That didn't finish, but you're gonna finish. But one of the things that I experienced, and you know, I was, by the time I got to Southern, I was the age of a senior. You know, with most seniors, as I was a freshman, because I went to the military first. But what I really loved about it, was really sold me on the HBCUs, is, to me, it seemed like the instructors cared more. Like, to me, it seemed like they're really trying to prepare you for life, and they're gonna take, because they know as black people what you're gonna face once you get out in that real world. And it just felt like they took more of a personal, you know, relationship with you, and they cared more. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I guess a little, but I've always went to school with black teachers, so to me it's the same thing. Period. I mean, you're gonna have your teachers that care more than others, and then you also gonna have your teachers that really just don't care. They're just kind of there. But yeah, and also at the HBCUs, it's starting to be more non-black teachers there as well. But your connection to the teachers is gonna be stronger because there's not as many people in the class. So you're not a number. You're actually a person to the teachers.
So to you, what is the main value that you would say that you know, see going to a HBCU?
For the most part, people your color that actually, you know, care about school. For the most part, I mean, by the time you become a junior, everybody who's left in your class pretty much cares about your school. The first semester, like freshman year, people start dropping in the sophomore year. But by the time you hit a junior, most people gonna finish it out because you're halfway there at that point. Did
you see, being that you closing in on the end of your second semester, did you see a lot of kids that didn't return from the first semester?
Yeah. A lot of kids didn't return, and a lot of new kids.
Mm-hmm. So what was the main reason you think they just wasn't focused, or?
Well, you could tell the people that wasn't gonna make it when you first walked through the doors. Like, if I always, like, for example, we had this thing called Pretty Wednesday, and that's where, like, it's like the party on campus on Wednesday in the middle of the day. For the people that's always there or always at the union, I pretty much know they're not gonna be there for long, because that means you're never in class. Like, if I always see you at the union, that means you're never in class. So.
What has been the hardest thing for you?
HBCU?
No, just period. You know, being away from home and.
Well, I'm not really homesick. I was bed sick because I didn't want to stay in my room, so I be at my friend's apartment. So I've been sleeping on couches for the last couple months. But the time management, school is not hard. It's how you manage the time, though. I don't go out places and stuff, but I'm talking about as far as like homework and stuff like that. Time management.
What has been the thing that you love the most so far about Southern?
About Southern?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like the Louisiana culture in a way. It's funny seeing them dance and act the way they
line dancing and all that stuff.
I'm talking about jigging.
Oh, okay. What about the New Orleans accents?
I actually don't like New Orleans accents.
That's why it's totally different.
I don't.
You could tell a New Orleans person versus
from a BR person
from anywhere else in Louisiana. They have a much stronger accent.
I like the BR slang and stuff, but as far as New Orleans accents, I'm getting used to it. To me, I just don't like. I mean, people get mad at me when I say this, but like, I don't care how the dudes sound. You can sound however you want to sound, but like the girls, the accent creates a deep voice. So I don't really like it. All that.
Sound like you talking to a man.
Yeah, I be like, relax.
Oh my God, you are crazy. So let's talk a little bit about the sports side of it. I know with you being an athlete, one of the things, you know, I mean, you played basketball all the way up through high school. And I know one of the things you were saying, that it just doesn't seem like they have as much of the school spirit for the sports of, you know. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's a lot of school spirit at HBCU. It's more so for the band.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, as far as towards the sports teams.
But towards the sports teams, I mean, sports at HBCUs don't really get a lot of funding. It's the band and the dancing that gets the most funded. And like, I think like at Southern, like $60 of everybody's tuition or whatever goes towards the band. So, you know, And
that leads me to my next thing I want to talk about is, a lot of the funding from schools come from their athletic programs, particularly football and basketball. And to me, now, that all these top black athletes are all being recruited to the PWIs, they're making millions of dollars for those schools. I would love to see, and you tell me if you think it would make a difference. I think it would over time. And I know it's probably wishful thinking, but if a lot of these top black athletes coming out of high school would go to HBCUs, they would have much stronger teams, more competitive teams, and which would bring more funding to the school, don't you think?
Yeah, but like that is something you have to be really patient with, and it's gonna be hard to get a lot of people to want to go to those schools, because a lot of HBCUs they'll go to like USC, they'll visit LSU, and then you come to Southern, the campus is just not, we don't have the facilities and all of that, the attraction to make you feel like you can become a lot better going there.
But that's the thing that we have to get these young black athletes to understand, is that they are the ones that can make those changes. Because if they would be the one to sacrifice going there, and I wouldn't even say sacrifice, because really what they're looking at is more, I get it, they're looking at the nicer facilities and all that, but if they could just understand, like, I could go to these black schools and help my people in my school and help bring that money there to eventually it can look like a LSU or Alabama or something. It's just getting out of that mind frame of feeling like that it's so much better and they could help. I know it's wishful thinking,
and that's risky. I would love to have started that, but I don't think if I'm a person that's one and done, or something, or like two and done, like for basketball, I would have, especially football, but for basketball, I would have to go to a SEC or ACC school.
Well, but see, the thing of it is, what you guys got to realize, they're gonna find talent.
Of course, they're gonna find
if
talent.
They can find you at a high school, they can find you at a HBCU.
Yeah, but
they will.
You got to realize though, it's your strength of schedule a lot of the time. Like I can go to Southern and I can go crazy on Jackson State and stuff all I want to, but if there's no other prospects on them other teams, like, well, who are you really doing it?
But that's what I'm saying. If enough black athletes went to these black colleges, they would have those strong, because all those schools would be
but
strong.
I'm saying, but one person committing will start it, but that's gonna mess up their particular lives, and a lot of them top athletes don't have the money to risk that.
Well, I understand what you, but I still feel I don't agree with it 100%, because, like I said, when they were able to take you out of high school, they was taking you out of high school. So what's the difference?
It's a big difference now. Like you
now, only because they created this one and done crap.
Well, because if you go to a small school, you're gonna fall off the map. Southern don't get no TV time.
But that's what I'm saying. It's gonna take over. It's gonna take that.
That's what I'm saying. But it's risky for the individual
for the ones
players
who first started.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but like I said, a lot of them top athletes don't have the they can't take that risk. Like, they have to go somewhere where they have the best. Because a lot of the
you would be amazed that if the right person would start it and have success, it a lot of things it just takes for that one person to do it. But like you said, I understand it's a risk, but if it take that right person to do it and it'll start a trend, it could happen, but
that, and you got to get some, like, the top trainers at your schools and stuff like that. It's a lot when you really looking at it. So
let me ask you this, moving on. If you were talking to a young black student that's getting ready to graduate from high school and they're trying to figure out where they want to go to school, would you recommend a HBCU to them?
Yeah, I mean, of course I would recommend it, but it's certain things for everybody. Like, I know this is doing this in our neighborhood. He's going to Texas A&M, but he's like one of the most pro-black people I know. So he's going there and he's trying to make positive changes for the black part of the school. Like I've seen he's got into like an argument with these with some white people because they were kind of like using gang slang and stuff like as jokes and stuff. And he was saying like that's really not funny because people actually die and stuff over that and things like that.
At what school?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. So, in closing, what would you tell, a young, senior in high school right now as far as choosing their college and what advice would you give them with choosing the school and what to expect their first year?
Enjoy your last year of high school. I really missed my last year of high school. That was really fun. Well, we had a good class, but my last year of high school was really fun. But going into college, don't. How can I word this? When you're going into college, the biggest deal is freedom. Because at the end of the day, school is school. Like that's always gonna be the same. But the biggest deal is freedom. And college, you don't have as many chances to mess up. Like you may have 4 assignments the whole semester. So if you miss one or do bad on one, it's hard to catch back up because it's not nowhere near as many assignments that's given out. But other than that, school is school, regardless of what level it's at. You still got to study and go and,
What about advice you would give them as far as picking a school?
Well, for example, Southern, I didn't even apply to Southern. Like, I had applied to 8 different schools. They were all HBCUs. I originally wanted to go to Hampton the most. I got accepted in every school I applied to. I originally wanted to go to Hampton the most or whatever, and I didn't get enough money for Hampton. But eventually, me and my dad went to this college fair or whatever, and Southern started talking, and they gave me the most money. So at the end of the day, you really want to go somewhere where you have the most money off, or the cheaper in the long run, because it's not about. The world is who you know, not what you know. So as long as you can make connections, that's up to you. Like you got a network and stuff, but as long as you can make connections, you'll be fine wherever you go. Cause I know this person, he was saying he graduated with like a 2.2 or whatever, but now he's like the CEO of this big job because he's like they don't care about what you like your grades in college. Once you graduated, you graduated. It's up to at this point it's about connections and who you know or whatever.
So now that you coming to the end, you got like another month left before the semester's over?
Yep.
What do you plan on doing for the summer? Are you gonna take a break? Or are you gonna try to go do some summer classes when you come home?
Well, I'm not doing summer classes this year. I'm trying to get an internship. If I can't get an internship, then I really want to just travel and relax for this summer. Cause I know how to make money without having to work now.
What?
As far as when I say a summer job work, like I will never go back to Fridays. I love the fact that I learned that, but I could not Fridays in particular, but never fast food,
but
never food again.
You need to clean that comment up though, because it sounds like when you say I know how to make money without working, just let them know what you mean by that. We don't want nobody to think you the school pharmaceutical.
No, I don't smoke or nothing. I don't do nothing illegal, but I know how to make legal money. I'm like interested in. I like learning new ways. Like I invested in cryptocurrency for a little while. First semester, I did like the little legal shield thing, and I'm about to learn how to like trade foreign currency or something like that. I forgot what it's called, but I'm about to learn how to do that and venture off into different things as I try to be what I want to be.
All right, well, we're gonna close it out. I want to, thank you for taking the time to do the interview. The purpose of me wanting to interview you was just to show other young black people, particularly young black men, because they need to see more images of people like you that's in your age group that's doing positive things and not thinking that the thug life is the life to be and all of that crap. That it's cool to be educated, and I think you're a good example of that. I want you to keep striving and doing what you're doing. Very, very proud of what you're doing and the man you're becoming. And I think you're headed for great things in life, and just keep up the good work. So with that being said, we're gonna close out, and thank y'all for watching.